Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my decluttering series. We're tackling eyeshadow today. I've decided to do the eyeshadow decluttering in a series of shorter videos, which I'm going to organize thematically just to keep things manageable and digestible. Today's theme is dupes. So I've got some stuff behind me on the bed that we're going to go through, and you'll see what I mean when we get into it. So what I have here are some dupes from my collection, and by dupes I mean items that are just very similar. I've picked out a bunch of my smaller eyeshadow palettes that are all in the warm neutrals family, specifically rusty, coppery, warm brown shades. It's a color family that works really well for me. I just feel really good when I wear these colors, and so I tend to accumulate a lot of them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through the 6 different items that I have here and say a little bit about each one, and then we're going to run this like an elimination round on a reality show, like American Idol style. First up, we have a palette from Quo Cosmetics. Quo is a brand that you can get at Shoppers Drug Mart. This is the Mineral Shadow combo in Downtown Brown. And it is basically a quad with a liner shade thrown in at the bottom. So you've got a champagne color, a rusty brown, a darker bronzy brown, and kind of a mid-tone taupe. Really nice formulation on these. They're all smooth, buttery, nicely pigmented, and I really appreciate the inclusion of this deeper matte liner shade. It works really well for adding depth at the outer corners. You can use it as a liner and then you don't need a pencil. It just gives the palette a little bit more usefulness and versatility. Then we have one of the Charlotte Tilbury quads. This is the Dolce Vita. Very, very similar color selection to the Quo palette. You've got a pale champagne color, a rusty brown, a deeper bronzy brown, and then this golden glittery top coat, which you find in a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury quads. This is a little palette from Paula Dorf. It is, what's it called? This is the Essential Eye Palette in Daydream from Paula Dorf. And what do you know? It's got a coppery shade, it's got a bronzy brown shade, it's got kind of a more rosy shade in the middle, a matte, a pale matte shade that you can use as a base, and then a pale shimmery shade you can use as a highlight. I used this today, and I gotta tell you, I'm not that crazy about it. I got this on discount at Winners last summer. I had a little bit of money left on a gift card that I was trying to use up, and I grabbed this Paula Dorf palette because it was a brand I'd never tried before and I just wanted to check it out. And yeah, I've used it a couple times. Most recently I used it this morning, and really, really wishy-washy color payoff, especially in these deeper shades. This bronze color here is really disappointing. It just does not have enough impact for me, and these shadows, they're that type of formula that's a little bit light and dusty and kind of blends away to nothing, and I hate that. I like creamier shadows that adhere better to the skin. A fairly recent acquisition. This is one of the Natasha Denona 5-pan palettes. This is number 4. And I really like the Natasha Denona formula. I think it's pretty spectacular. Some of the creamiest, most pigmented blendable shadows I've ever used, and this is a really nice sampling of colors. You've got this gorgeous pearly gold duochrome, there's a gold shade, a really, really gorgeous rusty copper shade, a deeper plummy brown shade that's great for the crease, and then this kind of more pale champagne kind of a rosy champagne, I guess. This looks really pretty. It's just a basic shade to wear on the lid. You can also layer it over top of any of the other colors in the palette to create different effects. I've just been using and loving these Natasha Denona shadows to death. Here we have one of the Marc Jacobs Style Icon 7 pan palettes. This is the Lolita. This was a gift from my sister a few years back and has been very well loved. You can see here in the matte shades especially, I've used quite a bit. This is a great palette. It's got everything you need. I love that they've given you these basic mattes in light, medium, and dark, so you can kind of do your basic look with the matte shades. And then you've got a whole selection of shimmery shades that you can use to add dimension and interest to the look. There's a glittery shade, there's this kind of pearly pink duochrome that's really pretty, and then there's kind of a sand, shimmery sand color, and a shimmery muted copper tone. I really like taking these shimmery shades and layering them over top of this dark brown to create different effects. Love the Marc Jacobs formula. Been getting a lot of use out of this palette. These ones here aren't technically a quad or a palette, but I've included them here because they were sold together as a quad. This is the Where the Light Is quad. It was the collaboration that Kathleen Lights did with ColourPop a while back, and my sister gave this to me for my birthday a couple of years ago. So you've got the shades Glow, which is a matte, pale skin tone color. Cornelius, which Kathleen named after her dog. That's a warm mid-tone brown, great as a crease color. Blaze, which is a warm bronzy color. It's got a lot of sparkle to it. It's really pretty. And the shade Kathleen Lights, which is a stunning metallic copper. The finish on this is so amazing. I love the ColourPop formula. It's really unique. They're kind of like a bouncy, moussey cream powder combo. They're kind of like the Chanel Illusion Doms, but better. And yeah, I've been getting a lot of use out of these. Alright, so I've lined these all up and it's now time for the elimination round. Charlotte Tilbury, Marc Jacobs, Natasha Denona, and ColourPop. Congratulations, you're all safe. You're all solid performers with either a unique formula or a unique color selection that has earned you a permanent place in my collection. Quo and Paula Dorff. Sad to say, you're in the bottom two. I just don't reach for you nearly as much as the other contenders, and one of you has to go. Quo. You were fairly expensive for a drugstore palette. Your formula is commendable, and the inclusion of that dark brown liner shade has earned you a second chance. I'm going to try and get some more use out of you. Congratulations, you are safe. Paula Dorff, I'm sorry, but you suck. And I just can't justify keeping you around when I have so many other palettes in that same color family that perform so much better. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.